Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another TTMS special, number 9. Number 9 play, here we are. Last night we had a lot of fun. A lot of news came out last night before the show, which we knew. We knew, bits and bats about information, what's going on with this ABK deal. But the shit I've seen straight after that show, shout out to my brother, my WBG brother, Dirk Griggity, for talking that shit. Talking that shit. Yo, Joey, enjoy it. You're gonna get sniped. But listen, guys, we're gonna have a great show today. I'm back at Dirt's place right now. Back at Dirt's place. Dirt's back in the basement. His punk ass is back in the basement. That's where he belongs and that. But anyway, guys, listen. Information has come down. Ponies are having a meltdown. Facts, Aussie. A meltdown. I've got my pony tears as well. But listen, guys, I've got something special. When the ABK deal gets done, I've got something. I'm waiting for that day to happen. Let me know if my microphone sounds good. John Wolf, this is not Jim Ryan's house. Jim Ryan is a bitch. But it's 100% we're going to have a lot of fun today, guys, because some of the news, like after the show, after TTMS as well, and it's continuing today as well, it's going to be talk about meltdowns, talk about damage control, talk about emotional damage. Receipts after receipts after receipts. Yeah, Dirk Gritty, I put him out on that. What do you reckon, guys? Let me know if the stream's okay. If it's moving okay? 1080p as well. Dirk knows what I'm talking about. Let me know if the stream's looking okay, guys. Let me know if I sound okay as well. Let me go there. 1 second. Let me take a look. No, Mr. Eldrick, I don't drink, but that's pony tears. That is pony tears. And listen, you can't refuse pony tears because last generation, to get these pony salty tears, it was extremely difficult. It was extremely difficult because them guys were talking that shit. Nobody's blown that. But yeah, man, listen, before we get into it, hit that like button. Share this out and let the good people know we're talking that shit today. Let the Xbox brothers and sisters know we're talking that shit today as well. Crazy Horse with the 5. Shout out to you, homie. Breaking news. Scientists have found out what's inside that black hole. It was dirt. Oh, shit. You're Dirt. If you're in the chat, I don't know why they keep going after you, Dirt. For that comment, for that super chat, I'm going to have a drink of these pony tears. Breaking news. Once again, the scientist has found out what's inside the black hole. It was dirt. Yo, Dirt is not even here. Why so serious? Crispy Bomb, Rambo, Anthony Chipmunk, 108, Toolman, Black Knight, Aussie. Dirt's not even on the show yet. I don't know what's going to happen this Friday on TTS. Don Sicoria, what's going on, player? Listen, this Friday, I don't know what the hell you're going to do to Dirt Gritty. He's not even here. Physical presence. I know what you're going to say. Oh, Dirt's everywhere. He's that space and bullshit. No, don't start that shit, bro. Don't start that shit. Leave Dirt alone. Leave him alone. He's not here today, guys. He's not here. Leave him alone. Now, let's talk about this 10-year deal. What's going on, Z Black Rider? I don't know how to say your name, man. Wolf Raffen Ragnarsson. Sorry, bro, if I butchered your name. Now, Gummy Hernandez, what's good, player? Now, leave there. Let me hide this comment. Sorry, there. Sorry, I left it up for a second there, player. He's hurt. Lulu is the GOAT. Now, I wonder what's going to happen on TTS this Friday when me and Dirt will be talking that shit. Omi Tony, what's going on, my G? I wonder who's going to be fighting over Lulu. Just call me Wolf, bro. I will definitely call you that, player. Wolf. Now, guys, yesterday, Lulu's dropping bombs. Yeah, I know Dirt talked about this yesterday, but let's just set up on that from yesterday, and then we get into the shit. We knew what was going on. Shout out to the homie Post Up from State of Gaming as well. Shout out to you, player, man. He's done such a great job when it comes to the ABK deal. Talking about what's going on with these conversations, execs, and some sort of deal. What the deals have been going on behind the scene. But let me zoom into this shit here. This was yesterday, guys. This was yesterday. Now, this is the update from Microsoft on the ABK deal. Microsoft's president to push Activision deal at the EU hearing. Google, Nvidia are present as well. Now we know what's going on here, player. Smith will lead a delegation of 18 senior executives, including Microsoft Gaming Chief Executive Officer Phil Spencer, while Activision will be represented by its CEO Bobby Kotick. According to European Commission, documents seen by routers or routers, whatever you want to call that. Now, this was the lead up to yesterday. The hearing will allow Xbox maker Microsoft to gauge the mood amongst seniors, European and national competition officials, and the Commission lawyers ahead of the submission of remedies to address antitrust concerns. German competition watchdog and his peers in Belgium, the Czech, Finland, France, Italy, Portugal, Spain, Sweden will also be taking part in this event. So there was a lot of people. Went to visit. Sorry, let me just review this. A lot of people were out here. Media guys, Jez Corden, Tom Warren. A lot of the media guys were over there. I know if Brad Smith was making a case. We talked about this yesterday on TTMS as well. Just before this meeting, Brad Smith and the team said to Nintendo, listen, we have a 10-year deal, a pre-contract, that if this deal goes through, 10 years guaranteed you'll get Call of Duty on your platform. And people got upset about that. People said, how can they promise something like that when they don't even own Activision Blizzard yet? I go, listen, bro, it's a pre-contract. These are the concessions. These are the words they're talking about. They want to keep their promise. If you give a contract at the start, look, we're gonna deliver on this. Boom, 10 years to Nintendo. That's what happened. And now, once the deal gets done, that's guaranteed. That is concrete, and that's what's gonna happen, player. But after TTMS, guys, information started dropping left and right. We found out what was going on. We found out who was part of Xbox, who's with Xbox, who's with Top Notch. I got that in a second, player. Who's with Xbox, who's going to be against Xbox. And we found out, bro. We found out the market share as well, which we knew about this market share, but they had to put up a case. When it comes to this Activision versus Sony, Sony was out there talking that shit. Jim Ryan was lying like a bitch. Straight up, he was lying, talking about how much this can hurt us. But as time has gone on, they came down, presented information, talked about what we will do with the Activision deal, Call of Duty game, and much more as well. What we want to do, expand it to more gamers besides that dog shit PlayStation 5, because you're dominating all of these markets, more or less. Chargasm goes, Sean in the base house again. Do you find that suspicious? Shout out to Top Notch Box with a 2. Sean lives on a carpet on a mountain. Ah, shit. Talk that shit, Top Notch. Talk that shit. Now, this is what we're talking about, player. This is some of the things they're talking about. Now, let me pull it up on my screen, guys. Here we go. What is this? Shout out to you guys in the chat, man. Shout out to you, homies. Hope you guys are doing well. Now, as you can see, guys, information came out. What's going on, Sixley? I hope you're well. Chargasm as well. Zinc, what's good? What is good? Now, as you can see, guys, when after TTMS yesterday, more information came out, and they were talking about this. They had to, in front of the EU, they had to present a case why this won't hurt Sony. Why is Sony the most dominant on the market when it comes to the console space, especially in gaming? They are one of the most dominant when it comes to the console space. Now, Brad Smith talked about this, the market share. He broke it down between the media, in front of the media. Taliban's, what's going on, my G? See, Catskills, what's good? Doom Reaper, what is going on, player? Now, look at this shit here, guys. Let me put it full screen so you can see this shit. Look at the breakdown. Look at the market share, first of all. Then we get into the pure shit talking. In Europe, PlayStation is 80%. Xbox is only 20%. Do you see that shit, guys, first of all? How is that fair? How is Microsoft competing if the CMA and the European Commission has some concerns about this that it will hurt the PlayStation brand? You see them numbers from Europe? And let's not even talk about Japan. Japan 96% for PlayStation, 4% for Xbox. Let's not even talk about that shit. Look at the fucking jump on. That's not that you call that competition? You actually call that competition? Now we talk about the global market. PlayStation is 70%. Xbox is 30%. That is big. That's a big landslide. When it comes to that, that is a big landslide play. Look at the difference. And PlayStation's out here talking about this will hurt them. They will beat us. They will overtake us. The reason why PlayStation is crying at Jim Ryan, I understand why Jim Ryan's doing this shit. That's his job. But the way these guys have been crying, it's been a disgrace. You've been dominating the market for the past decades, and you don't want that competition to come close to you anymore because you know for a fact that with the Xbox is fighting back right now. Xbox is putting on a better fight. They're actually competing in this space, and you don't like this at all. You don't like it. Why? Because you want to be the number one platform holder out there. 80%, 70% global market share versus 30%. Now I know EU and the CMA excluded Nintendo Switch. They said Nintendo Switch is on its own lane. Nintendo Switch is just cruising down the road. Okay, that's what it's about. Split it. Let's split the market. PlayStation was the Xbox because they get the same games when it comes to the third party games like Call of Duty, NBA, and all that bullshit. I know that comes to the Switch as well now, but before that, that is crazy, guys. When you break it down, and I'm glad that Brad Smith and his team and Phil Spencer went down there, talked to the European Commission, talked to the motherfucking CMA, telling them, listen, punk, we're not lying. Look at the market share. Look at the dominant force by PlayStation. You think we're competing as of right now? When PlayStation, when it comes to the global market, they have a 70% market share versus 30%. And you actually believe that's competition? I would have give it to you if the CMA and the European Commission are under FTC. But we know what's the FTC is about, politics and that. If it was 50% and 60%, or 40 to 60, whatever you want to call it, sorry. Bro, it wouldn't be too bad. But this is 70% versus 30%. That's the crazy thing about this. That's the most insane thing about this. This is what it is. This is what we're talking about. Now, guys, let me stop sharing my screen and let me get this super chat. Let's talk 108 Dragon without 5. Let's talk Sony's paying less for COD. What the fuck are they going to do? We're going to have to pay up now. And Xbox games on Nvidia, Shadow Play. Microsoft ain't playing no games. Oh my gosh. Laughing out loud 108. You seen that shit play? You know what we're talking about. We'll definitely talk about that Nvidia stuff as well. Putting the games out there more and more. It's crazy to see this, guys. It's gone yet. Let me see if there's any member chats. I need to pull up there. Shout out to one is Amma Al Kafaji, Louis Hanamez, Will Mayday. What's good, man? One Trick Pony. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, player. I hope you're good on that. Now, we wanted to find out who's on board. We wanted to find out because when we go into this meeting, when Brad Smith wanted to present the case, we were finding out who's going to be against this. Who's against the Activision deal? Who's with it? Who's for it when it comes to the Activision deal? Let me give a shout out to the Justin March with a 10. Shout out to you, homie, man. Respect to you, player. Doom Reaper goes, what is Sean doing in Dirt's house? We could talk about that behind the scenes, player. Now, leading up to this yesterday on TTMS as well, we wanted to know who's going to be against this, who's with it. Now, Brad Smith and Phil Spencer and his team has presented what? The case. They talked about what they want to do in this gaming space, what they want to do with Activision Blizzard. And now, guys, let me share my screen. Let me get a super chat before we go. Sorry. Rain G4 with the 2. Remember PSO had that RDNA 10? Now, that's funny you talk about that player. That's funny you talk about that. RDNA 10, RDNA 4. Listen, player. This TTS, we're going to roll back the clocks on the Booker 1X. I've got a receipt about that. We'll definitely talk about that. Now, let me pull up this, guys. Now, this is what we wanted to know. Who's against it? Who's with it? Hit that like button, guys. After recent Microsoft conference in Brussels for Activision deal, we now know all the big players in the industry who are pro or who's against the ABK deal. Now, let me highlight this for you guys. The people are who's good with it, who's alright with it. Let me Xbox zoom in. The people are good with this deal, happy with this deal. This is it's a bonus, bro. I'm off to this, so why not talk that shit? There's a lot of information. Why not talk that shit with you guys, man? Now the pro, Bandai Namco is good. They're not crying. EA is good. They're not crying. Epic is good. Nintendo is good. Nvidia is good. Riot Games, Sega, Take-Two is good. Even Tencent is good with that shit. And Tencent's competing on that level. But we know why Tencent wants to talk that shit. Ubisoft is good with this shit. Warner Bros. Is good with this shit. Now, who's against this deal, guys? This is what we wanted to know. Who's against this deal? And we knew it. We knew it. The people who are against this deal is Google, Sony's punk asses, and some third party in China. I'm not sure who is that at the moment. I guess we find out. So that's 3 people that's against this deal when it comes to the ABK deal. So let me give a shout out to these guys here. Who's with the deal? Bandai Namco, EA, Epic Games, Nintendo, Nvidia, Riot Games, Sega, Take-Two, Tencent, Ubisoft, Warner Bros. Shout out to them homies out there for supporting this deal. Shout out to them homies and that. That is really good, that. And there's only a few. We know what Google's crying for. Google's worried about what? The mobile division. Candy Crush and Warzone. That's what they're worried about. King Darkers, what's going on, my G? Hope you well. It could be NetEase, Z Black Rider. It could be NetEase. But more or less, like I said, Doom Reaper, you're 100% right. All the major publishers seems to be good with this deal. But we knew 1 or 2 will be a suspect. And this is what we wanted to know yesterday. This was before TTMS and that. And we can talk about it today, and we'll talk about it this Friday as well with the homie there. We got more information about this. They laid it down. This is the contract, and this is what we're gonna do. This is what we want to do in the gaming space. And they are bringing more games to more people, other platforms holders, such as Nvidia. Now, people were concerned yesterday talking about. I'm a bit worried about the wording when Brad Smith talks about bringing Xbox games to Nintendo Switch. That's been debunked. It's only Nintendo's only asked for Call of Duty only. Call of Duty is the only one they want so far. That's what they want, because you gotta understand, Call of Duty is a beast. Luis Frag, what's going on, G? Call of Duty is a monster. This is what you gotta understand, guys. Call of Duty is that type of game that brings in when the game comes out every year, regardless if you think the game is dog shit. Regardless if you think, do you know what? Call of Duty had a down year. Even though when Call of Duty has a down year, what happens? It's still like the #1 game for that year. We said what happened with Vanguard. Shit, I think we're still the #1 game or some shit. Modern Warfare 2. Boom. #1 game in the space of 2 months. E-Man with the 2. Sean, you better not blow up Dirt's bathroom, you piece of shit. Oh, come on, man. Come on, E-Man. There's no need for that shit, player. Come on, player. Shout out to E-Man and that talking that shit. I'm a Kafaji cloud gaming. Who knows what's gonna happen with that shit in the future? Because if they do come with a Switch 2, that's where we can see it. As we continue, guys, let me pull up this now. I know some people were a bit like concerned about Nintendo Switch. Some people were concerned about the Nvidia stuff as well. Like, how does this benefit? How does this benefit Xbox? How would this work out for Xbox? Now, when it comes to Nvidia, which like Nvidia the company, guys, yeah, Aussie, 100%. It's the dog shit game. What happened? It was the most played game on the box. Nvidia is now on board with Microsoft to bid to buy Activision Blizzard, signing a 10-year deal to bring first-party Xbox games and Call of Duty to the cloud service, which is GeForce Now. Now, guys, you gotta understand. Now, this is what I got a couple of clips for this as well, talking about Nvidia. People were a bit concerned about this. What does this mean? If you guys don't know what GeForce Now is, it's a service that you gotta pay as well. It's not a free like cloud streaming service. It's a service that you gotta pay as well. And I think it's $8.99 for like 1080p and like $17.99 for 4K. But the thing is, guys, you gotta understand this. Cloud gaming, we need more competition out there. They were worried about cloud gaming. They said Microsoft was gonna dominate cloud gaming. Microsoft took all of that information that the FTC, the CMA, or the European Commission put out there. We have some concerns that in the cloud gaming space, Microsoft is going to dominate, and no one else can come into the space and compete anymore. Microsoft said, okay, this is what we're going to present you with. Our Xbox first-party games will be available, at least for 10 years, on Nvidia, which is cloud gaming. Now, you pay $8.99, I believe, or $17.99. But the thing is, that's just for the service. That's what you're paying for the cloud service. Then you have to buy the games. But this is what they were concerned about. Keeping games away from other cloud gaming platforms. Now, Microsoft has come out and said, listen, our Xbox game, our PC games, this is what we're going to do. It will be available on cloud service, which is GeForce Now. And Dalby, Anthony, 100%, you still got to buy the games. You pay for the service, but you still got to buy the games. You get me? I hope you guys are with me on that. And that's the beauty of this. This is how you nail it. This is how you destroy it. Let me pull this back 1 second, guys. This is how you do it, guys. When the CMA EU talking about, listen, we need some concessions. We're worried about this. We're actually worried about this. You gotta compromise. 1 second. What does Ryan McCaffrey say? Alright. Let me pull it back. Shane G, what's going on? It's a win-win situation. I agree with you. That's a win-win situation on that. Forget about the ponies Will made it. Fuck the ponies. You know, every one of these ponies, let's keep it real, boys. Let's keep it real. Every one of these ponies.
Shut the fuck up!
That's right, they can.
Shut the fuck up!
That's all I'm gonna say about the ponies. Bitches. Keep crying on that. And we will talk about this. We will talk about some ponies crying like bitches after TTMS, what happened last night. After that, if Stadia, well, I wonder if Stadia wish. Let's be real, Stadia only had one fan anyway. Everybody knows that one fan anyway. It is what it is. Now, guys, I know the homie Dirt talked about this. Lulu Chang was talking that shit. I gotta give it to her. She is brutal, honest, keeps it real, does not hold back from her punches. The reason why she's not holding back, guys, because Sony is trying to fuck this deal up. Sony is trying to block this deal where these guys want to change. This is good money. This is good business. They want to change. And Sony's coming here, trying to mess things up, lying, talking about how can they get hurt by this deal. Just in March, yeah. Just in March, this is for you, player. This is for you. What is this shit? Let me pull it up.
We can
We can make it, baby. Now, you best not fight over Lulu this Friday, guys. We're not having that. We ain't gonna have that. We'll see anyway. Now, getting back to this now. She put this tweet out after the meeting. After the meeting, yeah. Just imagine, hope you like that, player. After the meeting. And I love this meme. I've seen this meme many, many times. And you know, some ponies have used it for Xbox, or some Xbox guys have used it vice versa. But this is what she put out yesterday. Look, they still not signed a contract. That's the funny shit about this. Sony has still look. I'm gonna get into my bag. Listen, punk bitches. This is your last year. Next year is your last year when it comes to the marketing deal. We're giving you 10 years. You still don't want to sign the contract? Bitch, you refusing to sign the contract for 10 years. And then you're crying about, what if we lose Call of Duty? They're giving you 10 years. 10 years is a long time. Call of Duty might be dog shit in 10 years' time. What if we lose Call of Duty? What if we lose access to Call of Duty? Bitch, if you don't sign the contract, you will lose access to that game. You only got one more year left. And you're out here crying, talking about what if COD goes away and that. You putting yourself in this position, you rat. You put yourself into this position. Straight up, you bunch of rats. And this is what happened, is backfired on you. Motherfuckers think you Master Splinter. You're just a basic rat. One off them streets. That's all. You're not Master Splinter or some shit. Let me get a super from Jay Rambert with a 2. One time for Queen Lulu. Talk that shit. Lulu is awesome. She loves talking that shit. Let's go, play. This is the look I'm going to give Lulu next time. This is the look I'm going to give her. Yo, baby. Me and you. We can make it. Chipmunk, what's good? What's good? And I absolutely love it. People know, look, bigger companies. We've seen all of the companies coming on board right now. Besides Google, Sony, and some third party, maybe NetEase, when it comes to that, who's against the deal. And that's crazy to me, guys. That's absolutely crazy to me, that. And she continues, bro. She does not stop. She's out here talking that shit. Listen, there's one thing talking shit. There's one thing talking a line. But when he talking facts, when he talking that shit with facts, that's when it hits different. It's a different ball game. When he knows his facts and he talking that shit, that's where it hurts even more. That's why people hate this girl. When I mean people, is ponies. Now look at this shit here. This is a tweet, she quote tweeted Phil Spencer after this, when Phil talked about we got a 10-year agreement with Nvidia that will help GeForce to play Xbox PC games, as well as Activision games, including Call of Duty, following this acquisition. We are committed to bring more games to more people, however they choose to play. And I'm glad they say that more people, because fuck PlayStation. Now this is what she said after all of that shit talking. Microsoft is doing exactly what they said they will do. Where Sony continues to rebuff the opportunity to get a long-term agreement for Call of Duty and is trying to undermine the deal to protect its 2-decade. Listen, let me put this shit up here. 2 decades, 20 years dominance in gaming. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is what they're trying to protect. Bitch, you're afraid of some competition. They're afraid that PlayStation, Sony is afraid that they might become second in the market. Even we know when it comes to this deal. Microsoft will still be behind Sony when it comes to revenue. It's going to take time to dominate this space. It's not like Microsoft's going to acquire this and that's it, it's game over. No, bro. It takes a long, long time to come into this space. You members, use the emojis. Use them emojis, members. Because we love talking that shit over here. Lulu's out here talking that shit with facts. And that's why it hits harder, guys. When when you have facts behind you, and you shit talking at the same time, That's when it hits different. When I have receipts or Dirk Griggity has receipts, we have facts behind us, and that's when it hits different. And I love it. Absolutely love it, guys. The shit talking does not stop. And I want that shit talking to continue. Because, it makes... I just love it. Because I love to see people cry. I love to see people, aka ponies, cry. Now, let me pull this up in here. Now we shit talking now. Now we shit talking. Now I'm going after the ponies. Now I'm going after the ponies, guys. Straight up. He's the pony saltiers. Let's have some, and we're gonna get into it, guys. 126 people, guys. Shout out to you, homies, and that. I know it's early for you, some guys as well, but shout out to you, man. 9 lives. What is good? What is good, player? Hit that like button. 6 layer. Let's go. The gloves are coming off now. Now check these ponies out. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. I'm gonna talk shit. We now Lulu Xbox zoom in. Now, when Lulu put this tweet out talking about Sony's a punk bitch, straight up, let me use my emoji in the chat. PlayStation fanboy. These console war memes were already cringeworthy. Seeing top-level executives use them is just pathetic and showing how desperate they are to convey a message. This is coming from someone who's unaffected by the ABK deal. Be better. I want you guys to look at this here. I'm going to leave this here for 4 seconds. 4 seconds. Talking about top level executives going down to this level talking shit. This is petty. This is desperate. Be better. I wonder where was this punk bitch when this shit went down. Shout out to the homie Joey. Who remembers this? Who remembers this? 9 lives, I got that next play. Who remembers this? Where's the pettiness? Top level executives. I'm sure that's Shuei Yoshida there. Look at this shit. Shout out to the homie Joey. Oh yeah, because this wasn't console war and meme-like, cringe as hell, but the message was sent. Just like Lulu was talking that shit. You remember this shit? Nah, I told you guys. We talked about this. And even some of you Xbox guys, you flip-flopping Xbox guys as well. Listen, we told you motherfuckers on that. When you're out there trying to keep it real, trying to please the ponies as well, PlayStation, they will like your shit. They will comment on your shit. They'll quote tweet your shit. But when you question PlayStation, when you're talking that shit with PlayStation, putting the feet under, the fire underneath the feet for PlayStation, they don't even like your shit. But you guys never learn. Never ever learn. I told you. Where are these dudes now? Why can't they say this was cringeworthy? Be better. These are executives, top level executives. Sai Hayota, what's going on, player? 9 lives, Reggie Lee. Let me pull this back because some guys are just joining us now. Let me pull this back once more and then we'll continue to talk that shit. You see this shit, yeah? These console war memes were already cringeworthy and that top level executives are just full of shit, basically trying to say. Full of shit. How desperate they are to convey a message. This is coming from someone who's unaffected by the ABK. Be better. Nah, player. When someone's trying to fuck up your money, listen. When someone's trying to fuck up your money, trying to fuck up a better environment, a working space, when people want this deal to go through, many people want this deal to go through, you think someone like Lulu Chang's not going to hold back? Really? When they need that to happen, you know what's happening at ABK. And I'm not saying when Microsoft takes over, they can turn it around within a day or two. It takes a long time. They are for this. And when Sony's out here lying, pretending, so this is going to kill us, this is why Lulu Chang is talking that shit. This is why she's talking that shit. You remember this shit, guys? Who remembers this? Xbox Zoom In. I remember this shit. But going back to that, when someone's trying to mess up your environment, this business deal, which can help all the future developers, we heard about what happened in ABK Day. We don't need to get into that right now because we talked about it many, many times. They're messing up, so these dudes are bound to be upset. They're bound to be pissed off because they want this deal to happen. They want to see change. Imagine working in say like McDonald's or some shit, and the manager's a piece of shit. Manager's a piece of shit. You guys are there, flipping burgers and making fries and that. I'm the manager. I'm a piece of shit. Yo, look, 9 lives, you motherfucker, what you doing here? You can't flip a burger proper. Go clean this up and that. What you doing, 9 lives? Louis fragging that. Go mop the floor, you piece of shit. That's where you belong in that. If you want a day off, no, you can't have a day off on that. I don't give a shit if your grandma's passed away or someone's passed away. I'm a dog shit manager. And that's what's going to happen. When the management change, they want better. They want a better working environment. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. They want a better working space. Who does not want a better work? Listen, guys, many of us work. Some have their own business. Some work for other companies. When you have a dog shit manager running the place, acting like they're the bees, fucking, the best of the best, they Mr. Know It. They know everything. Running down the company, because they think their way is right, and doing some nasty shit as well. You don't want to work for that company anymore. The company could be fine. You might like your work, but you know what? Because of this one piece of shit. I hate working there. So these Lulu Cheng wants a change. The developers, the people who are for this really what's going on, player? The people are here for this deal. They want that change. And that's why they're pissed off. Don't come out on Twitter and say this is a disgrace. Be better. Pascal, what's going on? So you changed your name to El Greco 17. Pascal, I hope you well, player. Eternal should die. What's going on? It's going to be Ali G. Who remembers that shit? Ali G and that. That's what I'm talking about. This is why I don't mind when Lulu's talking that shit. Because they're trying to fuck up a business. You're trying to mess things up. You're actually trying to mess things up. That's why it's a bit different now, guys. You're feeling... Now, let me pull this shit up. Because we're going to talk that shit, guys. We're going to talk that shit. Here we go. It doesn't stop there. I don't have a problem with this guy. But, when people have like shitty takes, it is what it is. If Activision believed a market for Call of Duty existed on Nintendo, and it was financially viable to have it there, Call of Duty would have been on Nintendo platform already. 1080p makes you a better gamer. Facts. Now, guys, listen to me very carefully. Call of Duty, it's been about 10 years, I believe. I think it was on the Wii U, a Call of Duty game. What happened to the Wii U? Guys, tell me what happened to the Wii U? Reggie Lee, what do you mean? Did Brap flip? They've been flipped. What happened to the Wii U? It flopped. When that console came out, it flopped. When did the Nintendo Switch came out? 2017. It took them a few years. So why would you put Call of Duty on a flop machine? That's flopping. Well, no one's buying. It got done. It got wasted. Wii U got destroyed. These skills, skills towns, 100%. It doesn't matter if it's for next gen or if it's cloud gaming for now. That's what it's about. Windows 79, you piece of shit. But guys, do you understand what I'm trying to say? He's talking about if there was a market for Call of Duty and Nintendo. I have to rock early because this is my time play. It works out for me better. Friday will be a later show because I'm working late, but it works out for me better. I'll check the DM play. Let me see it. I'll check it out. But let me get to this play. I seen that shit play, yeah. I seen that shit. Talk that shit. I said I've done that already. I've done that already. Play ready. Now Nintendo Wii U flopped, so there was no point putting Call of Duty on that console anymore. Nintendo Switch came out 2017. Call of Duty just went away. Nintendo needs to try to make a comeback, which they have. They made a great comeback. But now the game is changing. Now you see more and more games go to the Nintendo Switch. The Witcher 3 is on the Switch. The Witcher 3 is on the Switch. Many more games coming onto the Switch. I'm not saying the Switch is a dog shit hardware, dog shit console. But there's 120 plus million on the Nintendo Switch. If you can get that working on cloud, then maybe the Switch 2 will become more powerful. They can put Call of Duty on that. Put it on that. That's more customers. That's 120 million people out there. Maybe 10 million might like Call of Duty on the console. That's 10 million more people that was never there in the first place. Not everybody can afford 2-3 consoles. Not everybody can afford a top tier PC as well. This is why cloud options out there, people around these other countries as well, who struggle to buy a console because it costs too much. Because it's not feasible what they're doing, because of how they get paid. It's difficult in different countries. Let me pull this shit up 1 second. Anonymous talking that shit. Anonymous goes, for Activision probably not, but for Microsoft it probably is. Of course it is. Microsoft wants to take over the gaming space. They want to take over the gaming space. Let me see. I think someone sent me a message again. Oh shit. Let's see this shit. It's the PlayStation gamer. Now look at this shit here. Look at this shit. These ponies are hurt bad. Absolutely hurt bad. Fuck you, what's going on, player? What's good on that? Yeah, really, I seen that shit before. Player. I seen that shit before. Don't worry about it, player. Don't worry about it. I got this shit. Where's this shit now? Now someone replied back to Lulu Chang. Who knows if it could be, it was a Call of Duty mobile game. So this person here, guys, let me zoom in. First of all, look at our Twitter handle. Like to be bossy. So we know already. I know you're a piece of shit. Straight away. Let me have this pony tears before we get into it. I've been okay, bro. I've been okay. El Greco, I'm not seeing the response to this. I think I put it up before. No, I just did it, bro. El Greco just missed it, bro. Now this pony talks about, as someone who works at Activision, this is some bullshit. What a clown. Now let's click on this. Let's click on this person's profile pic. No, I don't need to click on it. No, I'll click on it. Fuck it. Let's click on this shit. This is the profile here, guys. This is the profile here. You see that shit at the start? You see this shit at the start? What does it say there? Let me highlight this fucking bitch. Look at this shit here. Look at that shit. Imagine seeing that. This is dog shit. This is some bullshit. This is not classy. And then you look at this person profile pic. PlayStation. Nintendo Switch, PC trophy hunter. She's a photographer, obsessed with The Last of Us. Bro, I need to get something. Look at this shit. Look at yourselves. She's worse than Jeff Keighley. Random citizen, what's going on, player? You see that shit? Receipts after receipts, player. PlayStation is first. That's what she's talking about. And she's upset. She goes, this is not classy. This is a disgrace. Now we know why. Now we know why. Like to be bossy, sorry. First of all, your Twitter handle is bullshit. Well, like to be bossy, talking about Lulu Cheng is a clown. As someone who works at Activision, is a clown. Only to find out that your profile shit has a PlayStation right at the start of it. Let me pull this. Let me stop sharing my screen. Nando G with the 5. Another 10k layoffs. The last 10k was Sony ponies as well. Talk that shit, player. She's fired. Bro, you see the shit I'm talking about? Honestly, like, why would you expose yourself like that? Why would you put yourself on that level when you know already you're gonna get caught in 4K? We know what they like, player. We know exactly what they like. And someone in the DM, someone in the DM's done that. I seen Ray just do that just now as well. This is what we're talking about, player. Amazing. Absolutely amazing, player. The salt is real. The salt never stops. Verge Brizzle, what's going on, player? Expose caught in 4K. But hold on. Well, she admits in the feed that she don't and never. Wait, hold on. We need to pull this shit up. Let me pull this shit up. Hold on. What the fuck are we doing here? Alright. So she worded it wrong, but do you know what? We're gonna roast her. We're gonna roast her in that. Look at this shit here. Look at this shit. Let me zoom in. Can I ask you something, guys? I want you to read this with me as well. Just the first part. Xbox zoom in. Just the first part, guys. Just in case I'm misreading this shit. As someone who works at Activision. As someone who works at Activision. What does that mean? Please, people in the chat, tell me what does that mean? When someone says, as someone who works at Activision. What does that mean to you? What does that say to you? Present. Yeah? Am I right on that, player? The wording applies that, let me pull this up before we get to the main thing from Joy. The wording applies that she works at the ABK. She works for Activision. Right? Right? I just want to make sure. I don't want to slip up. I just want to make sure. Toonman, know your role, player. Louis Hennemez. You guys are with me. You guys are with me then. That she's applying that she works at Activision. Okay? Now, look at this shit here. Let me scroll down nice and easy. This person here named whatever the fuck his name is, well, I don't know. He goes, you work at Activision. She goes, not me, she. Xbox zoom in, move to the right. Look at that shit here. Same girl. Same girl. When she put that tweet out, to me, to you guys in the chat, she said that she works at Activision. Emojis in the chat. Look at this shit. Not me, she. So she does not even work Activision. She's talking about Lulu. Yes, she's talking about Lulu and that. She was talking about herself first. Look at this shit. Look at this shit here. As someone who works at Activision, as someone, but the problem, as someone who works at Activision, but the way she worded it, to me, that's that she works at Activision. But we know why she's salty for. Why? Not me, she. Listen, one thing I'll say to you, I'm going to say one thing to this girl.
The fuck are you talking about?
Ho. Anyway, let's move on. Let's continue talking that shit. Shout out to the 155 on that. In here. Hit that like button, guys. She's an imbecile. 100%. Wolf, she's an imbecile. Now, guys, we're going to continue with this shit because I want to expose someone else. Let me see. Where is this shit? Let me expose someone else as well. I don't want to talk about that podcast, bitch. But let me play this clip because I want to see what it says. I'm not listening to this clip because all of the information was coming out yesterday, so I missed half of it because Nola Origins talking that shit. Oh shit, player. Oh shit. Let's pull this up. Let's see what Brad Smith saying.
We haven't yet reached an agreement with Sony. I hope we will. I walk around with an envelope that contains the definitive agreement that we sent to Sony 2 days before Christmas. I'm ready to sign it at any time. And if Sony doesn't like the words, we're ready to sit down and pull out a pen or a version of Microsoft Word and its cut and paste features. We know that advances in everything in life require dialogue. We're committed to that. We're committed to that with the European Commission. We're committed to that with other regulators around the world. We're committed to that with other companies in our industry. We're committed to that with Sony itself. And I hope and believe that this is a day, like many other days that I've spent in Brussels, that will advance our industry and regulation in a responsible way.
Yo, let me tell you something. That shit. Now, guys, that's my first time hearing that. That shit was epic. Absolutely epic. Brad Smith goes, listen here, player. We sent this contract before Christmas, 2 days before Christmas. We give you a Christmas present. A present. If you're afraid of some of the words, if you can't understand some of the words, we could sit down, have a discussion about the words. We could use Microsoft Word. Yo, listen, I'm gonna play that shit, and that shit was hilarious, bro. One more time. Shout out to Brad Smith.
We haven't yet reached an agreement with Sony. I hope we will. I walk around with an envelope that contains the definitive agreement that we sent to Sony 2 days before Christmas. I'm ready to sign it at any time. And if Sony doesn't like the words, we're ready to sit down and pull out a pen or a version of Microsoft Word and its cut and paste features. We know that advances in everything in life require dialogue. We're committed to that. We're committed to that with the European Commission. We're committed to that with other regulators around the world. We're committed to that with other companies in our industry. We're committed to that with Sony itself. And I hope and believe that this is a day, like many other days that I've spent in Brussels, that will advance our industry and regulation in a responsible way.
Yo, listen to me. I want to say one thing. Guys. Let me pull this up. That shit. Talk about TT. I need to get Brad Smith on TTS, player. I need to get Brad Smith on TTS. Brad Smith, Jim Ryan and your ponies, you got knocked the fuck out. Straight up. Eternal Shirai with the 2. Didn't Yoshida did that How to Share Games also? And funny enough, Eternal Shaddai, I talked about that early in the show. Did exactly the same shit. They were talking that shit. That's the way business is. That's the way business is. Now, after what Brad Smith said, guys, listen to me, guys. Brad Smith's talking that shit. I'm gonna hit him up on that. Get on TTS play. After that, what these ponies heard and Jim Ryan heard, this is what happened to these ponies. Talk that shit. Yo, shout out to Brad Smith for talking that shit, man. That shit was epic. Baron Morse, what's going on, player, man? Hope you well. Imported Fox, what's good, G? Then, I love that vid. Yo, Devin, I love that vid as well, player. That was something I was going to use for TTS as well. Jeremy Brown. Yo, that shit was epic from Brad Smith, man. Epic. Talk about... Listen. What Brad Smith presented to the EU, presented with this case, was incredible. It was a death blow. It was a Mike Tyson uppercut. That's what happened today. Well, sorry, that's what happened yesterday, guys. Your Luis Fraga, yeah, I might have to use that for the intro play. Do you know what I might do in that definite play? Yo, that shit was epic play. Wow. Talk about Brad Smith talking that shit play. Even though, look, Xbox is still not the #1 leading platform, they still have the balls to come out and talk that shit. And that's what I love, play. That's what I love. Let me pull this up. What's going on, Jigga J? What's going on, G? Now, you know, some ponies continue to cry. Our boy Nicola, once again crying again. Because he knows what's going down. You know, he knows what's going down here right now. Right here, right now. Front of the millions. He knows exactly what's going on. Miss Marvel, what's good? Hope you well. Jedi Johnson, hope you well. Eternal Shaddai, what's good, player? Nicola, sorry. Let me pull up his name. There we go. Now, in blue, we proudly show the slice which won't get access to Starfield and Redfall. We're committed to bringing more games to more people however they choose to play. See this dude? Crying. Absolutely crying. They're still crying over Starfield and Redfall. Why? Because they know them games are going to be incredible. They know something like Starfield is going to be on the level of Fallout. Elder Scrolls. That's what they're crying for. What's this shit here? Oh yeah, talk that shit, Xbox Series. Clowns. Absolutely clowns. Gogo Paul, what's going on? The realist. What's up, my G? Jigga J, you see this shit? You see this shit from Brad Smith talking that shit? Brad Smith ain't playing anymore. He don't play. He wanted to be Mr. Nice Guy. He wanted to be Mr. Nice Guy. And what happened? What happened? Brad Smith came with a motherfucking Terminator. He turned into a Terminator. He turned into a Terminator, and he pulled up like this play. I don't even have the clip because this is a new thing I've got now. Wait, hold on. This is how Brad Smith pulled up to fucking European Commission.
Man, I'd have went back to that house and I'd have pulled a Terminator on the front door. Boom, boom, boom! Who the fuck you think you playing with, woman? Who you think I am, some fruity pie? I ain't no fruity pie.
Talk that shit. Take care, player. Be back on that. Now let's continue, player. Guys, still continue. Look at this here. Who knows this dude here? Who knows this dude? Did people know him? Tell me something, guys. Tell me something that I don't know. Mark Malkin, what's going on, G? Hope you well. Yeah, Jigga J, that Roadhouse, what a great movie. I believe there's a remake coming out of that. Conor McGregor's in that shit. That's Nick Bean. Nick Bean ain't taking that bullshit. Now, this guy's a PlayStation dude. He's a clown. Like the other clowns out here on Twitter Space. They think they Mr. Know It All. They think they know everything. He has this to say. When Sony wanted to compete with Nintendo, they didn't have to buy EA. When Sony lost market share to the Xbox in the 360 era, they got better by making great games in order to compete. Xbox has failed at first-party content. They need Microsoft to buy Activision due to their failures. You know when people say, let me remove my screen for a second. You know when people say, you know what, I don't care about the ABK deal. ABK deal does nothing to me. If the ABK didn't mean nothing to these guys, they don't care about Call of Duty. They don't care about Diablo, World of Warcraft, and these other games. And this is what I heard about this. You said on Twitter when they said, this deal does not affect me at all. I don't care if the games go exclusive, it does not affect me at all. So if this does not affect you guys, why the fuck are you tweeting about this? Why are you on Twitter talking about this? Why are you on podcasts talking about this? If I had a problem with Sony buying someone, if I didn't have a problem with Sony buying someone, would I go on Twitter and cry like what these guys are crying right now? Would I go on podcast and talk about, listen, I hate it. I hate it. Even though the Bungie deal does not affect me, I absolutely hate it that Sony's buying Bungie. Why can't they cultivate studios? Why can't they grow studios from the ground up? If I was saying that, and then I'm saying something else as well on top of that, you got a problem. I'm saying I don't care about Bungie, then all of a sudden you see me on podcasts crying about Bungie, Sony buying Bungie. You see me on Twitter talking about Sony and Bungie and that, crying over that deal. That means I've got a problem. That means I care about this deal. I don't like it when these fake bitch-ass motherfuckers talk about Activision. It doesn't mean nothing to me. But then they're on Twitter crying, podcasting crying. Why is Microsoft buying these companies like that? You couldn't play Lemons, the old game Lemons? Zink's there talking that shit. Infinite 28 million. CFT is 30 million. Flight Sim 15. Grounded 13 million. I think Forza Horizon 28 million player. This is what we're talking about, guys. Now, let me pull this up. Here we go. It's alright. What's going on, Anthony? Hope you guys are well. Now, if nobody cared about Activision deal, listen, these dudes, I'm telling you right now, everybody wants, the PlayStation dudes, the ponies, want this deal to fail. I don't like that bullshit. Just say it straight up. Let's say it straight up, I'm a fucking pony. And I don't give a fuck, I hope this deal fails. Don't say, I don't care about Activision. It doesn't bother me. Let Microsoft buy them. Then you're on Twitter and podcasts complaining about Microsoft buying shit up. Be real. Don't be a punk bitch. Be real on that. Say it with your chest. Like I said, fuck PlayStation. I like some of the games. They could kiss my ass. I'm saying it with my chest. Fuck them. Fuck the ponies. Let me get this membership. The Angry Teddybear's member for 8 months. Sony started buying up studios and paying studios not to put games on Sega and Nintendo. On Sega and Nintendo. 100% right. When it came to that generation, them launching gen, what did they do? They kept games away from other platforms. That's what they did. Sony was paying studio. Yeah, Zinc. Let me pull Zinc up. Sony was paying off studios in the 90s. Top notch box. Sean, they're so concerned, bro. Like, honestly, bro, listen to me. If Sony acquired Square Enix, honestly, I don't give a fuck about Square Enix. I cared about Square Enix a little bit before because of the Tomb Raider IPs. But they're gone now. They're gone to Embracer Group. I don't give a fuck about that. If they buy, that's good. I hope they buy them. Certain studios, we like certain studios, we like certain IPs and certain, we do like certain developers. But you won't see me on Twitter or saying, yeah, like see me on Twitter, yeah, I don't care about this deal anyway. Then you see me on podcasts complaining about it. Yo, why the fuck are they buying Square Enix for? Why can't they cultivate studios? Why can't they do it organic? Why can't they do it from the ground up? You say, Sean, you're full of shit. You're out here on Twitter talking about you don't care about Square Enix and Sony's acquired them. Then you're on podcasts crying about this. Imagine that shit. This is what I'm talking about. It's crazy, bro. 9Lives goes, Colin Moriarty and the ponies act like Sony built all of its studios from the ground up. Straight up. Talk that shit, player. Have I missed anything? No, I've not missed anything. This is what we're talking about. There's so much going on, guys. And once the ABK deal got done, listen, once the ABK gets done, it's gonna be insane, bro. It's gonna be something special. What's this? Good days for gamers around the world. I know Brad Swift done a few more interviews and that, but I'll leave it to that. Oh shit, what's this here? What was J-Rock done? 1 second. 1 second. Let me do this and I might close the show off in the next 5-10 minutes. But shout out to you guys for the 150 plus. Let me share this from the homie J-Rock. Oh, fuck's sake, man. What happened there, man? 1 second, it pulled away. Where has it gone? Where has it gone? I've got it now anyway. Let me get a super chat before I pull this up on that. The Angry Therapist with a 5. Final Fantasy was supposed to be on the N64, but Sony gave them the bag to Square. Facts. And I don't like it when people pretend Sony didn't do none of this shit back in the 90s and early 2000s. People act like Sony's built every studio from the ground up. They act like they've done it from the beginning. They do it the right way. We've seen interviews and documentaries about that, what Sony had to do. And that's business. Listen. Sony they had to do what they had to do. That is business. I'm down for that shit. This is the same, we on the same shit right now, guys. Microsoft's got to do what they got to do now. It's business. Sony did it back then. I'm still trying to do certain things. Look what Sony does with games like Final Fantasy, Forspoken, third party game. Look at Project Eve, Stellar Blade. That was a multiplayer. That is the multiplayer. Vicious Price, I got a clip of that, which I'll talk about in a bit. I'll pull it up as well because I want to talk shit. That is the multiplayer. But Sony, what does Sony do? Does time exclusive, marketing deals. Make sure their console version, if they get a marketing deal, they make sure their console runs the best 9 times out of 10. And that's business. I'm down for that shit. When Sony's doing all of that bullshit, you guys love it. PlayStation dudes absolutely love it. That's business. When Microsoft is doing what they do best, using their money, using their power, someone like Brad Smith going out there talking that shit, I absolutely love it. Because why? Because that's business. It has to be done. They're moving on this lane, you moving on that lane. Stay on your slow lane, we'll move in the big boy lane. And that's the way I see it. I never have a problem when Sony's blocking deals, time exclusives, you name it. I don't have a problem with that. That's fucking business, bro. That's how you do it. But you don't see me crying about it. But when Microsoft is doing some shit, all of a sudden, nah, that's not the way to do it. We heard it so many times last gen. Be the behemoth, be a monster, Microsoft. Let me pull this up and down. And before I play this, shout out to the homie J-Rock, but let me get this super chat before I play this. Eternal should die. Sony with the 5. Shout out to you, my brother. Sony have a short circuit in mind. They went to Microsoft headquarters to work on cloud and shook hands. Now they are being backstabbers because of the deal. Fuck Sony, he said. F them, bro. Jedi Johnson. Square Enix was my favorite dev before Final Fantasy 13. They fell off 14 and Octopath Travelers are the only thing that's keeps you interested. Fair play, certain games. Certain games will keep you interested. Yo, like Miss Marvel, I was hoping, but you know what? I understand. I understand it's business. It's shit, but it's business. I want Microsoft to do the same. I want Microsoft to do the same shit. Smitty Smith goes, Brad Smith is my cousin. Talk that shit, Smitty Smith. Now let's play this clip. What's this clip about from J-Rock? I'll let you listen to it. Let's see. What's going on here? Is it even working?
Of that agreement with Nintendo, that's an interesting one because, of course, it's very much focused on Call of Duty, one of the big hit games out of Activision Blizzard as well. Would you commit to other games too? I know with Nvidia, it's a broader library of games, but with Nintendo specifically Call of Duty, and there could still be some concerns from regulators here that actually some of the other big games from Activision Blizzard could sort of fall foul and could sort of be made exclusive to Microsoft platforms.
We're not hearing concerns today from Nintendo about other titles. I think we have a very good relationship with Nintendo. In the United States, literally, we're just a few kilometers apart in Redmond, Washington. We have more than 20 titles available on Nintendo devices today. This ensures that Call of Duty will be added to that list. I think there's a bright future for both of us.
And it's not just this.
Fuck that clip. That clip's messed up on that. No, I know what you're talking about, player. I'm gonna pull that shit up. I've got that shit ready. That clip ready, guys. I will pull that shit up on that. Everybody will always get. Look, everybody loves spread. Look, these ponies love spreading misinformation, fake news. Love it. Guardians of the Galaxy was a great game. Guardians of the Galaxy was a great game. Trust me, it was a fantastic game, Guardians of the Galaxy, compared to other superhero games, like recent superhero games. Vicious Price, I have that clip ready. Don't worry about it, player. Yeah, basically what Zing said. Nintendo ain't crying. Why the fuck are you crying? And let's expose some punk ass bitch now, guys. And then we'll close this shit out. Let's expose a punk ass guy. King Crush.
Chapter 3.
Let's expose. I'm gonna put the volume high on this shit. Put it high. Time to expose this dude and that. And listen, guys, I don't fuck with BitCloud and these guys. No, I don't hate them. Nothing personal. I think we follow each other wherever, but we keep it as that. That's how we keep it. But when we want receipts, we use them from anywhere. But shout out to BitCloud for this destroying this punk ass bitch, Queen Trash. Here we go, guys.
Chapter 3. What are we talking about here, my guy?
Wait, chapter 3 is what?
Yes. Chapter 3 is when after you beat the fucking when you're floating in the air with the floating platforms. You beat that, you then unlock the save point where you can go to the snow area, the water area, and the other area. You haven't gotten there. So again, how have you beaten Returnal?
Wait, there's still more to it? I thought that was the end of it.
Oh my God. Yo, guys. This is why you shouldn't guys, this is why you shouldn't be on Twitter. Oh my God. Nah. Oh God. Oh,
Hold up. I have a quick question.
Oh God.
I have a really quick
Oh God, I'm
question.
done.
King Trash got exposed like a bitch. Out here playing Twitter streets. Big Clown is a pony. Fuck him, straight up. But it's a receipt. This is TTMS. I need a receipt. willing to do it, put on a show. You know that I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. But if it's a good receipt. And Queen Trash, you know, that guy's a bitch. But I love it. We love talking that shit. Now, guys, listen. Before we close this shit off. This deal, this is a major step when it comes to this deal. Yeah, richest price. Yeah, 100%. This is a big deal right now. This is a big step. But when you got everybody on board besides Google, Nintendo, and some other person, this was a big step when it comes to the ABK deal. One big step closing this deal. We will find out more in March, I believe. The mechanic goes, oh shit. The mechanic goes, Queen Trash played 10 minutes of Returnal and thought he beat the game. Talk that shit, player. Yeah, Avis, you know that we talking that shit, player. Talk that shit, player. This is a major step forward for this. This was a big step. Now everybody knows the shit is going down right now. Microsoft ain't playing. They came. I'll close that shit off with Brad Smith at the end. They ain't playing right now. March will know exactly what's going on. If Sony wants to sign a contract, we give you 10 years. If you don't want to sign a contract, if you're not happy with the wording, we will change the wording. We got Microsoft word. We will change the wording. But if you guys are not happy, we'll see what goes down playing. We'll see what happens next month. And I'm telling you right now, they came with a plan. Executed this plan. Pitch perfect. Yo, real non-stop talent. I got my light on. That's what it is. I got my lighting on. That's why. Yesterday, I didn't have my lighting on yesterday. I got my lighting on. That's why it's much better. And it's in 1080p. It's in 1080p. These guys, what's going on there, man? Yeah, definitely listen back to it, player. These guys executed a perfect plan. Came with every information, key information that the EU and the CMA wanted. Pulled up with 18 people. All the big boys from all the European countries were there. The media, Jess Corden, Tom Warren, Christopher Dring as well. All of these guys were there. I'm sure they will talk about it more this week as well. Every single one of them guys got the information. What is going on with the ABK deal and the future of gaming for Microsoft. Nvidia is on board. Nintendo is on board right now. Take-Two, EA, Warner Bros, Ubisoft. I forgot some other people as well. Bandai Namco. They do not have they don't even have a problem with this. Not one problem with this. Now this deal, when it goes through, guys, I got a special flask for the pony tiers. I'm telling you right now, I remember when ponies were celebrating. These guys were absolutely celebrating when the deal went a bit, ooh shit, the CMA is going to block this. They put a block on it. They're not happy with this. They were celebrating. Look what happened. You think Brad Smith is a kid? You think Brad Smith plays this shit? This is his life. This is the game he's in. Brad Smith knows exactly what he needs to do to close this deal. And he will close this deal soon. And then what's going to happen on Twitter is going to be a meltdown. This is unfair. Phil Spencer's full of shit. We hated what Phil Spencer has done to the Xbox platform. Jason Redmond, now who was that? They said they are working hard to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. That's Brad Smith. That's Brad Smith, the president. The vice president or some shit of Microsoft. Dirt's in the background. It's going to be a big day for us as well, guys. I'm ready for it. It's gonna be a beautiful day for us to see these ponies continue to cry. And this is not even done. Listen, guys, the deal is not done yet. And they're crying. They were celebrating a couple of weeks ago. You remember that shit? Now, what's happened yesterday was a breakthrough. It was massive, a massive step forward. And we will see this shit be done soon as possible. And I can't wait, bro. Do you know what? I wish Sony doesn't. I wish they don't sign it. I wish the arrogance, fails them. Honestly, I wish the arrogance fails them. I wonder what's going to happen with that. Sony, look, everybody's accepting a 10-year deal besides Sony. We know they want the deal to be dead. Unless they got some black magic or some shit they're going to do. Somehow do something with this deal, which I don't see. But it's going to be interesting, guys. And I know guys wants to listen to Brad Smith talking that shit. And then we're going to close it out, guys. What a great show. We had like 160 plus in the year. Shout out to the homies as well. Shout out to you guys in the chat. And shout out to Brad Smith. Let me put the volume up full on this shit.
We haven't yet reached an agreement with Sony. I hope we will. I walk around with an envelope that contains the definitive agreement that we sent to Sony 2 days before Christmas. I'm ready to sign it at any time. And if Sony doesn't like the words, we're ready to sit down and pull out a pen or a version of Microsoft Word and its cut and paste features. We know that advances in everything in life require dialogue. We're committed to that. We're committed to that with the European Commission. We're committed to that with other regulators around the world. We're committed to that with other companies in our industry. We're committed to that with Sony itself. And I hope and believe that this is a day, like many other days that I've spent in Brussels, that will advance our industry and regulation in a responsible way.
And that's how it's done. Everybody, that's how it's done. Talking that shit. That's how it's done. My dude's walking around with a contract. He could be blooded player. That's the shit I'm talking about. That's the shit. Look at this shit, player. TTMS, vicious price. Vicious price. TTMS and that. We love it. TTMS Brad Smith. Talk that shit, player. And guys, listen. Another great show. Shout out to every single one of you guys for dropping by. We had about 160 plus in a year. What a great show, guys. And yesterday we did TTMS. Today we have to do another TTMS. And this Friday, TTS Xbox podcast with the homie Derek Griggity will be at 4:30 Eastern, 9:30 UK time. Amazing. Great show, guys. What a great show, man. I'm not sure there's any more receipts, but we'll keep them for TTS and that. Everybody in chat, I love every one of you guys in the chat, players. Hit that like button. Keep talking that shit. Xbox or Live. West Side till we die.
Ain't nothing but against the party.
Ah, shit. You motherfuckers know what time is it? Hit that motherfucking like button. And you motherfucking ponies, hit that dislike button and get the fuck out of here, you soft motherfuckers. And ponies, Jim Ryan lied to you and pimped your bitch ass till the end of the West Side. You motherfucking ponies know what to do. Walk down that street corner, twerk your motherfucking ass, then put your bitch ass hands out and sell your bitch ass for those $70 games, you soft motherfuckers.